How you doing, everybody? Thanks for joining us today for another Rolling Over the Hill right here on the Live to Roll channel. And thanks to all of you for being part of the Live to Roll family. Before we get started, let's thank our sponsors, mobility professionals and urology professionals. They're a great and helpful group of experts that are very much part of our community and can help you with all your mobility and rehab equipment as well as your urological needs. So big thanks to them for sponsoring Live to Roll. Today's show is open discussion. So whatever on your mind, make sure to include your questions, comments, and views in the chat, and don't forget to hit that like button. How you doing, everybody? My name's Robert Soto. I'm a T12 spinal cord injury from a motorcycle racing accident 51 years ago. So let's get started and welcome my co-host, Chad, Paul, and Bobby. What's up, Chad?
Hello, everyone. Chad Fuchs here. C56 quadriplegic, involved in a diving accident long ago. 30 years. It's 30 years this last Tuesday, I think it was, or Monday it was.
Happy
Monday the
life birthday.
Yeah, yeah.
30th, the 23rd. Um, yeah, I'm an owner of chairlife.com and a passionate advocate for independent living. So, yeah, happy to be alive. Thanks for having me here today.
After the introduction, let's get into that 30-year mark. So go ahead,
Yeah,
Paul.
awesome.
Yeah. Hey, Paul Gustafson here. Uh, Pushing 41 years coming up next week, I guess. C56 quad, motor vehicle crash. Seems like a long time ago. 41 years, long time ago. Um, Trying to live my best life, I guess. Over to you, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby Rohan here, C56. Not as old. Well, I got Chad beat. Okay, I got somebody beat here. 36 years and counting. I'm going to count them as high as I can go. I was in a bicycle accident where a car cut me off into a handicapped park bus. Go figure. And living my best life. It sucks that I all these things that are being handed to us lately nowadays with attachable scooters and attachable hand bikes um, and I'm going to get into something today. We're going to talk about what we've been up to, but man, do I have a discovery for you guys, and I can't wait to get into it. But so that's me in a nutshell, and I want to welcome Ben. We got all our best people. Ben is in the house. Derek's in the house. Nicole, love you, Nicole. Dominic, my boy Dominic, who's gonna. We got to hit the baseball game here shortly. So, loving everybody who's here joining us. We got 10 people. Make sure you hit that like button, and that's about it. Let's, Robert, back to you.
All right. So you had asked for to talk about something that was about the last time we had our show. What's happened
Yeah.
between us, good or bad, from that show. So I was thinking about that. I'm trying to think. You know what? I've been on a roll the last couple weeks since the last show, every 3 weeks. I everything's been going good. Knock on wood. I mean, feeling pretty good. And just I've been going to my appointments. Everything's kind of going positive that way for a change. So I've been lucky, and I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to talk about it too much because I'm good, and I'm happy, and I'm involved with what I want to do in terms of giving back to the community. Helping with new patients and things like that. So yeah, it's good. And it's funny because I can tell in the morning how I'm going to feel. I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it's usually hit and miss, but I know when I wake up in the morning how I feel. I know that it's going to be a good energy day and all that stuff. There's been a couple here and there where I'm just kind of slow moving, but for the most part, everything's going good, and I'm happy to say that, and I'm happy.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This is a question for you, but it also kind of goes to Paul. And we're in what, month 6, so half a year here. Um, and I know one of your big complaints, and this was for Paul at the beginning of the year. Want to ask you how the UTIs are going, and I'll start with you, Bob.
Mine I'm fine. Again, I don't want to jinx anything. I'm doing fine. I'm down to my methenamine. I only take that once a day. Before there were 2 times a day, and I was doing all that other crap that we need to do. So that's the only thing I'm taking now. and keeping up with my water. So finally, I mean, I was there for like 6, 7 months, like kind of what Paul was dealing with, just not getting rid of that thing.
Do you know what may have finally got rid of it, or
No,
what changed?
they don't. Yeah. What changed is they were giving me all these crazy antibiotics that weren't doing anything, and I finally went back. I go, let me go back to my Cipro. That's my little standby. I always have that, and I took it,
Mm.
and that's what kind of cleaned it up. Now I don't know if the other antibiotics, had anything to do with slowly getting rid of whatever the bacteria was, or but the Cipro at the end was the one that that knocked it out. But I was
That's
going
great.
through a lot of crap.
Yeah, at least you found out what's going on.
Yeah, yeah,
How about
somewhat.
you, Paul? I know a little bit of the backstory, but talk about your issues that have been going on for.
Yeah,
It
it's been
seems
a
like
bit. Yeah, it started on September 21st, 19 September 21st,
Yeah.
2020.
Wow,
Uh,
man, that's a while ago,
yeah, it
man.
was kind of up and down there for a while, and then I finally got in to see a urologist in January, and I did a ultrasound, and then I've done urodynamics, and I did a cysto, and it's on and off antibiotics ever since then. And then back here, yeah, about a month ago when I did the cysto, it's actually not doing too bad. About a month and a half ago, I guess, about 6 weeks ago. And I've kind of sworn off everything and just trying to fight it myself, but it's still been bugging me. And this last, I want to say this last week, particularly this last 3 days, it's really flared up. All I'm taking right now, I've got the vitamin C going on. Bobby's highly recommended that, and I think that's helping. But I've been getting some bad dysreflexia, some weird breathing issues. Kind of when I don't know, it's like as soon as I empty my bladder, I have trouble breathing or something. And the last couple of days I've been getting a bad headache with it too. And I don't know, I've connected with the urologist again here yesterday and took a sample, and so I'm waiting to hear back from that. But I just can't seem to kick it. I don't know. And I've never had this before. I've always had really good luck with bladder, and it's like all them years that I had good luck with it, it's all catching up to me now, and
You
I'm
got to
paying.
catch it around. So what? How does the antibiotics affect your body? How does that do you?
Well, the one I had amoxiclav, so it's a combo of two antibiotics, amoxicillin and clavulin, I think. So I did that back in November, and it worked while I was on it. As soon as I got off it, it came back right away. And then I took that again I was on a couple other ones in between there, but I took that again in, oh shit, March, and I had a very strange side effect with where it messed up my neck. I had this super stiff neck, and I always said it's worse than breaking my neck. It hurt worse than that. That took a long time to get rid of. I still have some neck issues, not near as bad as I did, but I really got to stretch it out and stuff now. But they think I was allergic to the clavulin, is what the docs are saying. So I'm not going to go on that one.
Is there something in there that like the doctors know that, oh yeah, a lot of people might be allergic to? Because I'm finding out that I was allergic to something called sulfites, and when I ate dry nuts and dry fruit, or nuts with dry fruit, and I beamed out, it turned out it's the sulfites. So it was narrowed down. Are they narrowing it down to that?
They're not. No, I know sulfa drugs. I'm sensitive to sulfa drug, but they didn't mention that. What they said is it's very very rare that this happens, but it does happen to some people, and it might never happen again if I took it again. But I'm not going to take it again to find out.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
but yeah, I've tried the Demanos. I was on that for a while. I thought that might be causing some other problems, so I've just recently kind of stopped that to see if I'm noticing any differences. I'm not really noticing a whole lot. Um, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm sick of it.
Well, Paul,
And, and you-
are they treating specifically one bacteria or the other with the medication? Obviously, they must be. They have to,
It
aren't they?
was. I'm not gonna pronounce this right. Klebsiella, Klebsiella pneumoniae, and Klebsiella. There's two, and I've been going back and forth between the two, but I guess it's kind of hard to determine which one it is. And it's a more aggressive bacteria, I guess. It's not uncommon, but it's harder to treat. And I seem to be having trouble kicking it. So I'm not sure what to do. Yeah. And then
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's rough. I know, it's rough, man. You just frustrating. It's frustrating, you know.
Similar,
the
but
district.
I mean, Derek just said, have an ultrasound done on his gallbladder. Can't find what's
Mhm.
causing his dysreflexia. Yeah, it's frustrating when our it's like you're going in and you're being due diligence about your health and about what's going on, if it's a UTI and Derek, I'm going through the same thing you are. I mean, today, if anybody could really see my hat, I feel like a farm boy because of the sweat, lines around this hat. It's one of my most comfortable hats, and it's a live to roll hat. So if you want to get this live to roll hat, hit Shawn up, and we have a store. So a little plug there. Shawn, put in the link if you can. So it's just frustrating when we can't find out what's causing our UTIs and why we can't kick it, what might be causing our dysreflexia and what's kicking it or kicking it off. It's frustrating world. And, at least we're not ignoring it and we're managing it.
Yeah.
Bobby,
just
Go ahead.
trying to do
Go ahead, Chad.
is it cool over there in California in the evenings? Is that sweat kind of got you the chills and stuff?
It does a little bit later, depending, but my sweats come in the morning. And I'm not sure. I think it's the sweats really come more in the morning. I think it's my, it's just my hips and my back. And by the
Yes.
time, like today, it was so bad. I was just miserable. And finally, and I warmed up here, and it was a little warm for it. But I'm like, I got to go for a push, and I went
Right.
out to push, and I got rid of it. You know,
Yeah, or two, as we're aging, if our bodies, or of course our bone. I mean, we've been sitting for 30 years. Paul, 41, you 36, and hell, Robert, you've been in and out for a long time. I just wonder, our
Yeah.
bodies, we can't feel them. They've got to ache and
right.
hurt a little here and there. I notice a little bit at night, towards the evening, just being fully exhausted sometimes, and just can't get right towards the evening. But that's what I attribute it to. Just maybe musculoskeletal. Just can,
That that's what I'm kind of placing it on. I don't know about you, Derek, if that's what you're maybe putting it on, as well. And also, before we go on any further, I just want Leon. So glad you're safe. Damn, that sounds like a nasty tree. Sorry to hear about your tree. Tree's gone in your yard, but glad you're safe and joining us here today.
what did Leon say? They had some tornadoes.
110
Yeah,
mile an hour winds.
Wow.
Straight
that can
line
blow.
winds.
That might blow you over, Leon, in your wheelchair.
Stay
we got some
inside.
of that here too, Leon,
Yeah.
straight north of you. So we're getting
Well,
the leftover.
Yeah. And I know for those across, the United States going through those severe heat waves or the heat wave that is maybe still going on. I don't follow the news
Yeah,
as
on the
much
east,
anymore.
on the east. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was telling Paul, at least Paul's up in Canada for his daughter's graduation on Tuesday, but I know I read a little blurb about one graduation that happened middle of the afternoon or later in the day, but it was so hot. About 40 people went to the hospital for heat stroke.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
That's what would have happened
That
today
is,
if we would have had it today. That's what today's like. But the day we had it there 2 days ago, it was perfect weather. It's cool
Yeah.
enough that you can wear a shirt and tie outside and not be too hot.
Yeah. Derek says, that arthritis, his doctor said arthritis in the hips can cause AD. I that's what I'm putting it at, is AD. I mean, not only AD was happening, my nerve pain was just like, oh my gosh, I just felt like somebody just stabbing it, back and forth 100 times like this with a pickaxe. Or like I was, next to Dexter and he was just like, here.
it's stabbing away at you, man.
Can you
Yeah, and
feel,
you're right.
Bobby?
But hey, I
But
gotta.
Mm-mm. No, I
yeah,
can't feel anything. And
yeah.
I think that's what the heart, I don't know. Paul's got, you have feeling in your legs, right, Paul?
Yeah, it's kind of weird sensation, but I've got sensation. Yeah, it's not
Yeah, I
not
don't know.
normal, but I
Yeah, who
can.
knows if it's better not to feel or not.
Well,
Yeah,
when
really.
I loved it. Now that I'm getting older, it's causing me more issues than not because it's more. There's days where it just hurts. It's just painful. It's like nerve pain,
Yeah.
and yeah. So it's a blessing and a curse all in one. I know where my feet are. If my foot falls off my foot plate, I know like if it falls on the ground, something. I know where it is, but then like Chad, you were saying by the end of the day, my feet they actually hurt. Like I gotta move them or lift them up or do something because my feet, and my calves just get sore.
Hey, Paul,
Hey,
are they looking at your prostate? Have you had them examine your prostate and that kind of thing with all this stuff you're doing?
With the ultrasound, yes, and it was within the normal limits. But I thought of that as well, and
Because your
have you had
catheter,
a P?
you know,
Yeah.
your,
That,
your,
that's what I want to throw in. That's what I want to throw in because I have prostate issues and we're keeping an eye on it. Um, but because my PSA numbers are all over the place. There's no real consistency. There's a range, but I asked the doctor, does cathing, intermittent cathing, have anything to do with that? He goes, yes, it does. But they don't know enough about it because there's not enough studies. But yes, he
yeah,
says, yes, cathing will affect your PSA numbers. So what I do is I'm on what they call active surveillance. So every year I get a biopsy on my prostate. And so right now it's real low grade in terms of what the cancer is or whatever it is. It's like real low grade. So there's one. So next year when I get it in May, I'll decide see if it's increasing or whatever, or staying the same. If it's staying the same, I'm not doing anything for it. But if it's going up a little bit, then I'll decide what I need to do. And
and
because here's
what
the
can
thing: radiation, different injections of stuff, just different things like that. But I think I'd go radiation. But the thing is again, they don't know a whole lot about it, and I don't know anybody that's been going through prostate stuff in a chair. So he says, yeah, there's some side effects, but so I don't know if it affects bowel programs, cathing, and all that. He goes, there'll be some blood, but how much and what is it going to be? How long is it going to be? And I don't know. So I'll deal with that. I'll cross that bridge when I get to the next biopsy. But so that's where it's at. I mean, I'm conscious of it, but I'm
yeah
yeah, I
still
just thought
managing
about
what I
the
need to.
situation, Paul, with, maybe that I don't know, prostate could have a little infection in it and you're cathing through it and you're introducing it to the bladder. I don't know.
and it could be something like that, Chad, and that's something I should ask more questions about. Kind of as I'm going through this because
Yeah.
I know
And
initially
Paul,
it's
yeah,
fine, but
yeah, yeah. Now you don't get you can't take the methenamine because it's not available in Canada, right?
right.
The
I talked to
Hyprex.
the girl just about this, and yeah, she said that she used to prescribe it all the time, but she can't get it anymore. Apparently, it's like a really old medication, and
It's an old, yeah,
like,
it's an old medication that
yeah,
it was popular back when guys were coming home from Vietnam.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
we've
I don't
looked
know
at
I don't know what made it disappear because UTIs never disappear.
Yeah, yeah, really.
Sorry, I'm looking at my phone because I know I got a text today that I have a urology. Okay, it's on Thursday. Whew.
We're talking about
Friday
it. Kind
that
of.
on a Friday that I know I have something else going on July 11th, which for anybody that's interested, if anybody that's heard of the Rollettes have a big 3-day event, I think it is. And it's, women come in and they do a bunch of workshops and dancing. But this year they're introducing a day long on Friday, July 11th for men's workshop. I just saw the schedule and I should have it up. But
Yeah.
for anybody interested, coming out to California and doing this men's workshop, let me know. I can shoot that over today. It looks like here we got Wheels Up, navigating travel with a disability. Then they're doing, not wouldn't be my favorite, but a hip hop thing.
Yeah. Fashion. They're
After
doing
lunch,
fashion.
yeah,
Yeah.
after lunch, unleashing your working future, confidential or
Yeah. And
confidently
they got two
navigating
guests.
government.
They got two guest hosts, right? That are going to be running the whole thing. Because I know one of those guys I see on TikTok, and he goes by Wheelchair Poppy. So he pops in on that stuff. So, yeah, they're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, business and things like that.
Yeah,
But
and they
I
got
don't know if
men's fashion. I mean,
yeah.
so there it is. It's on July 11th for anybody interested coming out. I'll be there. Robert, are you going to go? Bob?
No, I don't think so. No.
Where is
And
it
so
at? Or what is it?
it's
What
in
is it?
L. Hey,
It's in LA
in
by
fact,
the airport.
I know you love to come in for one day and go out for one day. So it's right next to the airport. It's really, I think the first hotel right.
Yeah, it's a Sheridan right
Yeah,
by the airport, Sheraton
yeah,
LAX.
next to the airport. It's like the Sheridan and then airport. You enter into the airport. In fact, the last time I was there, I had to go around the whole airport because they were doing construction and I got trapped in that. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" So
Man, I would love to come up for one day and go back out. That'd be great.
yeah, so I'll send you the information, Chad. But anybody who wants the information, hit me up. I don't know if you're going, Shawn. If you got invited for July 11th, is the Rollettes. They're doing a men's day. So they're trying to build on top of that.
Yeah.
Besides the women introducing men,
Brolettes. The Brolettes.
the Brolettes. There you go.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's super
Hey,
cool.
Derek said he wanted to see me dance. I go, that ain't gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, trust me. I always said, one thing that was positive for a wheelchair. I'm a better dancer in a wheelchair than I was standing up. So definitely, I know that. When I was in high school or the junior highs, um, yeah, I would come down off the dance floor, and everyone's like, "Yeah, don't do that again." I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I could never figure it out, but they're like, "Yeah, don't do
Don't do that again.
White boys can't dance.
that." Oh, I'll make sure I record it, Dominic, if I go out there. So you got to join us, D. Let's go. Let's go. Come on up.
That's
Yeah. So everything's good with Bobo, right? You've had a good
Yeah, for the
couple of
most
weeks.
part, sure. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm on a roll.
how about you, Chad? Anything exciting? It doesn't have to be good or bad. I mean,
There's always stuff exciting going on in Chad's life. He's always up to something.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I,
Hey, Chad,
you know,
you got to talk about the email I just received, and because I got a lot to say about it.
what email? Did I send you an email?
About your company. Your company just came out. You restocked
To hook it, we've got so chairlife.com. We finally got new supply of hookets, and we've got them in an exciting color. The finish is silver, um, and there's a backstory to that silver hooket. I I originally had a silver hooket when all this started long ago, and so uh, and it's my hook it. I mean, it's right over there, and that's just been my hook it. That's my go-to hook it. It's my, I don't know, it's silver. It kind of sits sits aside from the rest, and I don't know. I seem to have a fond liking to it. I don't know, but anyway, so I was like, shit, I'll run a batch of them with just keep them silver. So yeah, right now we've got a batch of silver hookets, and yeah, just get them while they last. You know, the guy
And
I
you know,
lowered the price $2 on them, and yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah, we're trying to chair life. It's a movement towards our independence. Let's do it. I've got what
Chad,
else? I've got some cutlery that's coming out. I bought so I came across this cutlery, and it's a knife and a fork. It's got some chopsticks in it, and it's got some metal straws. And they're like in this little like kit. I don't have them here. I don't have them just yet. And they're like in this little zipper kit. And so you have your own little utensils with you. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool. I thought, hell, why don't we offer those to Chair Life customers? Um,
that,
you got your own set of knives and forks. And hell, the way I use that is I just use my ADI gloves. I put my gloves on. I don't wear my gloves all the time, but I have them on most of the time. But I'll put them on and stick the fork or whatever right in the thumb area. So then I've got that as it's kind of like a cuff. You see all these cuffs and stuff that people haul around with them. What do you do, Bobby? You pretty much put yours in your fingers pretty well,
I
don't
you
you?
know I yeah I do it where the fork or the spoon sits on the top of my palm, and then my thumb is over that and able to
Yeah.
do it that way. And if it's something a little bit more, I can hit it down with the other hand to get it
Yeah.
into the fork. So
Yeah.
I,
What about
and I do it another way sometimes too, depending on what I'm eating, I guess.
what about brushing your teeth? You just grab don't you do it with
That's
like the
electric. Yeah, that's electric. It's one hand, like
okay.
that. Um, so, I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't had.
that being able to grab something, that's why I had these gloves all the time because hell, I can even put um my pen in it like this, and just kind of that's
Yeah,
my
whatever work. Hey, whatever works.
and it's like,
That's what I'm
and
about.
with the barbecue pit or whatever, I'll stick it in the glove so it kind of baits, so it's got some.
Yeah, you're like my buddy Richard Bell. He does everything with his gloves. It's
uh,
all about that. But Chris said it just a second ago, and I want to go off what Chris is saying. These things, this is just I probably use this now at least 20 times a day. I do not bend over anymore. And what I finally figured out is the way I did my D's locks on my chair, I'm able to have this on me at all times now. I
uh,
set it down, I set it down and it's with me. Like I probably like yesterday, a package came, I put it on and I hooked it into the tape, how it takes
yeah,
the package, and I
yeah,
hooked it, got the package up on top of me. And
Right.
it's probably not going to be the best. Thanks, Shawn. But I have this my D's locks. I set it right there,
And it won't
and
fall
now
off. It won't fall off.
I went for a 40-mile bike ride, and I forgot to take it off, and it was still
Yeah.
on at the end of the
All
bike ride.
right. Cool. All
so,
right. Cool.
And
so on the
the
cutting table, I've got some little clips that I'm working on that will have that hook. It'll be able to clip into the side of our chair, depending on it'll clip. You'll have a clip on your chair on the frame clamp, and then it'll clip into that frame clamp, so we can take them. I go on the
Good
trails
idea.
and go walk the dog, and my dog sometimes shits the trail, and it's just like it happens. There's nothing I can do about it. But I, don't want to be that guy on the trail. So what I'll do is I'll take my hook it out and I just fling the shit off the trail and bang my hook it off, and just when I get home, hope I remember to wash it. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Don't pick up any food with it.
no, I know this is going to sound gross, but I changed my colostomy. I had it wrapped up in a little bit of baby wipes, and I'm putting it in the bag, and it fell in my bathroom. It was in my bathroom, like crud. But I used my hook it just it didn't get on. It just the way I was able to finally just find a little spot where the baby wipe was protecting that it didn't get crud all over it and got it back in the bag. I was like, whew, thank God. Because I didn't want to bend down there and try to grip it when you're trying to do this. And then I can only imagine. Yeah. It's like, oh.
So the other night I was hanging out here at the house, and had some friends over, and we were cutting up, and you know how that is. The night grows long, then the memory kind of goes with whatever you're, with the alcohol or whatever. And so the next morning I woke up and my urinal was in the bathroom on the floor, and my hooket was on the bathroom on the floor, and I thought, shit, what? Great night, shit. Yeah. Okay, I had to go find another hooket to pick up the hooket. But I've done that.
Chad, I've done it here many times because I got two right here on this cage. I got one in my barbecue, one in my car, and I'm about to call you because the one for my chair now all the time, I want, and I want your son. He'll be really happy about this.
All over it?
Yeah, he wants, the protectives just here. I want it all the way down because sometimes I hear the metal on metal, and I'm like, oh, I need Chad's son now that he figured it out. You have to tell that story about your son.
What, banging him out?
How he figured
at first, the first one he did took forever, and then he did. Tell him the story about what he did.
Well, I don't know. Hell, he's done so many things. Hell, I don't know what he's done.
Well, basically, Chad told me. I'll tell you the story. Chad, his son was trying to get it on, and he said, "No, I'm not doing. These are too hard." And Chad's like, "Please, I got to get these out for the Billies Expo." So his son went on Chat GPT.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and goes, "How can I do this?" And Chat GPT told him, "Heat it up, and it will go on very easily."
Yeah. So what you do is you put them in the freezer. Yeah, dude. And I had a friend of mine over here a while back, and I had paid her to put those on, and dude, her hands were blistered, and she was trying to get them on. My friend Marina, that I send out sometimes some pictures of her working around here, dude, her hands were sore. She worked for like hours, and had maybe 25 of them on. And so yeah, my son, he said, so she went to Chat GPT, and they said to put them in the freezer for about 30 minutes, and then take that tubing and heat it up, drop it into, and it slides right on. Shit, they slide right on.
and then it dries and is attached.
Yeah, it's fine. Hey, I had Marina pounding them out. These other ones we've got. So that's what I was thinking with those hookets. Everybody that has a hooket, the hooket end's going to be just a little bit different. Each one of them's got their own little way about them. But hell, they still hook it. So.
We had from my buddy Dominic asked, are they made for high quads on the vent? You might need to make one of the hook it that you can put in your mouth, maybe. So Dominic could grab it and then hook something to move something. So that might be another adventure to figure something out like that.
I've got a buddy Dan up there in Wisconsin, and he broke his neck. He's an older guy like us. And he broke his neck on a ladder just probably 6-7 years ago. And Dan's like, I think he's 57 or 58. And he broke his neck when he was like 51 or so on a damn ladder. And it paralyzed him he can't move. He can move his head, but not, his body. And he stays in the bed a lot. But he does get up in his chair and go here and there. He uses one of those I think it's the iDrive from Stealth Products, and he's able to touch it and go. But yeah, it's like I thought about making one for Dan so he could put it in his mouth and be able to grab things. But yeah, I mean, champions. We're champions. Shit, we're all doing it.
Well,
I've got a he had a spot on.
I'm going to give you Dominic's number so you guys can talk about how to design something like that. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, shoot me for sure. Send me your email, Donovan. Is it Donovan?
It's Dominic.
Dominic.
Send me your email, Chad@chairlife.com. For sure.
Chad@chairlife.com, yeah.
Well, Dominic, you might even be able to use one the way they are now, but I don't know. It might be best to modify it.
Yeah,
Derek, Derek
you
could
might
probably use
have,
one as well.
Why don't you
I can
just
see
straighten
that
it?
it needs to be shaped a little bit different. So it's at the end, it's flat and like can kind of curve where you can bite it. Like if you look at a mouth stick, if you look at a mouth stick, you can probably do it that way.
Yeah. Cut it down too where it won't be so heavy. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'm always running around here looking for my hook it, even though I've got same deal, Bobby, 3 or 4 or 5 running around the house. But
Yeah. No, now that I have it on my chair at all times, it's I don't even know if I need all the other ones I have.
I
I'll send
use
them.
mine.
I could use a few more.
Yeah, there you go. I'll send you.
I was using it to clean up the dog toys in the backyard today. Jumped onto the Baytech, zipped around the backyard in the grass, and was picking up dog toys with the hook in. It was awesome.
Yeah, gee, that hook it's great. That's
Yeah.
that. Yeah, every guy, every quad needs a hook it. I mean, I don't say that just because it comes from me, but I mean, shit, like Bobby. I mean,
No, I'm just. I mean, one thing is, Tom. If anybody ever watches Tom with the way he does his reacher, he's unique. I don't know how he does it. He's just so amazing. But as much as I tried, and don't get me wrong, I love Kelly's reacher from KDK. I'm
yeah,
gonna be so bad. That's so bad. But Kelly Designs reacher, where it's really easy. You just move this up and down. But these hook it just 10 times. Like there hasn't, like I told you, it may need a magnet, like very small magnet on the end, or what I find is because I've been using this little reacher with a sticky. It's got a sticky part to it. I found on Amazon years ago, and it still works because you can wash it off and it gets sticky again.
yeah, I've stuck some. I've taken the lint roller. I've taken a lint roller that was broken on the end and had a hole in it, and put my hook it in there so I could go and pick different things up. One time, my dog got my wallet and he just ripped all the cards were everywhere. Forget about it. I can't pick that. I had it. That's what I did. I stuck that on the end and I picked things up. You know what? You can use that hook it too. Like you were talking about your hat. I just thought about it with your hat. You can put your hat on the floor if you've dropped something you can't get it that's little, and use that hook it and knock it up in your hat just because it's right there. You don't have to go find a bag or anything. You got your hat on your head. I do that stuff too because I do
Yeah.
that all the time. I got my hats around. Anyway, yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, I sent some of those to Kelly. I want to touch base with him and see what he thinks. I saw
Yeah.
him at that LA Expo. But it's
Yeah, it's
it's
great.
exciting. No, I haven't
Um,
been. I've been just doing what I do. My family went out of town for the month, and they've been gone for like 3 weeks. They're in Japan, and yeah, when the cat's away, the mouse will play. I don't know. I have a
yeah.
lot of fun.
Uh,
We got a new viewer out
yeah, we
there
got
right
a
now.
new
Looks like
listener, Austin. How far are you from what is it? Belton?
Belton, Texas.
Belton, Texas. Do you know?
I don't know. I'm in
Check.
San Antonio, Texas.
So maybe Austin, let us know how far you're away from Chad in San Antonio.
San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Belton. I've probably been through there. It sounds familiar, but I don't know. Yeah, I talked to another young quad earlier today. He broke his neck 6 years ago. He was ordering some new back foam for his ADI backrest. And yeah, we were talking it up. He's a young guy too. He was broke his neck like 6 years ago, and he was like 27. So
Jeez.
yeah, I was like, man, I said, I told him about the lift roll. I said, watch the lift roll, and I said, we're passing the torch to you young guys. We're trying to set
Yeah.
we're trying to set the bar first, is what we're trying to do, right? But,
There you go, Chad. 45 minutes he's away, so you guys need to hook up and get him a hook it. Hook up to give him a hook it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So
So
Paul,
Bobby, what?
I
was going to say, yeah, you had something to add, Paul?
exciting. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
I was going to ask you what's been going on with you because I know there's a lot that's going on.
Yeah,
In the last. Yeah.
tell us what's up with you, Bobby.
No, nobody wants to hear about me.
Well,
Paul, But Paul had something better. Let's just go to Paul real quick. I'd rather.
Okay.
Well, your main thing is you're getting in and out of bed. Hell, So there you go.
Yeah, really.
What did I have that was better?
What?
What did I have that was better?
Oh, your daughter would kill you.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna let her know that Uncle Bobby, like remembers more than you.
My daughter Olivia just graduated from grade 12, so we had a big thing this week. We had our graduation ceremony, and did a big banquet, and the whole bottle of wax. And she turned 18 on the 12th of June, so today she's having her 18th birthday. So if it gets a little noisy here behind that door, anytime now, just let me know. I might have to mute myself. I know there's three of them here so far planning stuff. I think it's going to be a wild night.
Yeah. She graduated from high school, Paul, and then she just turned 18.
Just turned 18. Yeah, graduated from high school, so she's done high school. Off to post-secondary next year, apparently. So.
Yeah,
Man,
that's a good time. Good time of life, man. You're on top of the world, then.
It is. It is. I don't know if they recognize it.
That's cool. Congratulations, Paul, as a dad. That's just, pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
2 daughters. They're amazing girls too, or I should say now ladies.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We got a chance to meet them both, so that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I got Olivia, the older one. She's not feeling very well right now. I think she got some nasty sore throat stuff going on this last couple of days. So she's been laying low, not talking too much. So hopefully that doesn't last too long. But yeah, we're hoping there's no.
Hey, it's not that new COVID, is it? That next new strain of COVID?
As soon as she told me about her sore throat, that's what I thought, because I think it was.
Well, yeah, because that's the one with the sore throat. It's like they say it's like swallowing glass.
Yeah. That's I don't know. Hope not.
Yeah. Hope not. Hope not for sure.
It doesn't last. If that's what it is.
So there's a new one out there.
New strain, yeah.
That's news to me.
Yeah, I've heard about that one.
So it's like glass, like you.
Well, it's affect the other ones, breathing and all that stuff. This one is swallowing. When you swallow, it's like a major sore throat. Yeah.
Razor blades.
I used to get strep throat when I was a kid all the time, man. I used to have to get those penicillin shots and all that, but man, you couldn't even swallow. And then I get an earache. It was like that's miserable, man.
Yeah. And that's what you got. Just got an earache and a sore throat today. So.
Yeah.
Do you still have your tonsils? They didn't take out your tonsils?
I don't. I still have my tonsils. I never had my tonsils taken out.
I thought that's when they they just automatically start doing it if you've had more than once.
No, I had a doctor that didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I think there was kind of a late 70s, early 80s thing where everybody was getting their tonsils taken out.
Yeah, I had a bunch of friends that got it, but I never. Knock on wood, my throats.
I don't have my. They took them out. Hey, Robert, you live by yourself, Robert?
Yes.
Do you cook it up? Do you get in the kitchen and cook it up?
Well, I do what I need to, when I'm up to it and stuff. But because my sister usually stays here, she's in and out. She goes to Palm Springs, all that stuff. But she had some surgery done, so she's staying with her daughter, to help take care of her because she can't go upstairs. And I got stairs in the house here, so. But so I've been. She's been gone for about 3-4 months now.
Yeah, Bobo buys a house that's 2-story that he can't even get up.
Well, when I bought it, I could, but then as I got older, I go, forget it, I don't need to. So it's a guest room upstairs, or my sister's when she stays here and all that stuff. So yeah, I got the rest of the house. I got my room, which is big enough. It's like a den and a bedroom. But yeah, I'll cook certain things that I need or snack or whatever. That's probably why my diet's so shitty, because it's easier just to, not cook.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Totally hear you with that. I've been solo for the last, 3 weeks, and it's just easier. pick something up is just much
Well, yeah,
easier.
because the thing is I don't want, some of the stuff you make, it takes longer to clean up after than cook, right? And it's just for me. So and I hate cleaning up stuff, so I kind of try to find things that are streamlined.
That's awesome.
And it's easy for him because he doesn't buy anything green. So
Yeah, no vegetables, no cutting vegetables or anything. Salads in a bag. Yeah,
That's
just
funny.
cut it, pour it into and I've used paper plates for everything, man. Paper
Hell
plates. I'm
yeah.
a paper plate person, man.
Paper
Yeah.
plates are, that's hilarious.
No walk in, just toss them.
what paper plate do you use? Because there's only a certain amount out there that are durable enough to.
Well, yeah, well, Walmart has some that are pretty good, and they're microwavable, and they last a while and stuff. So yeah, I just I'll pay for them. But I don't know if
Real
I mean I have some
paper plates.
dishes and stuff, but I don't use them. They're in the cupboard.
They make a thing called
Yeah,
dishwasher nowadays.
Yeah,
Dishwashers work
yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, but
I don't know if you've heard of those, but they work pretty good.
yeah.
Hey,
but
Chad,
I mean,
I,
They,
I got
go
a
ahead.
work question for Chad. I got a chair life question.
What's up?
ADI backs. What ADI backrest do you recommend for quads?
How tall are you, Paul?
6'2".
Yep. Yeah, I would recommend at least a standard. I talked to a guy just a minute ago, same gentleman I spoke with earlier, and he was in he was 5'10", um, and he was in a low, or not a low, he was in a medium ADI back, which is 13 inches.
Yeah.
And I recommend for my, I've always used a standard, which is 16 inches, and it has the scapular cutout on it. So this particular guy I was speaking with today, he had a sore on his scapula, and he was 5'10". So that medium ADI back, the 13-inch, it goes straight across, so it's
That's what I
flat.
want. I don't like that ones with the scapula piece. I
You
like it
don't?
flat across. If it's
Okay,
got
they
the
have.
scapula piece, it bothers me when I push.
Uh-huh.
So I like my current one is, I think it is 13. It's yeah, 12 or 13, something like that.
Yeah, the
Around that.
13 that 13-inch medium height on that ADI back is flat on the top. But there's
Yeah,
also a new line of them. If you wanted a 13-inch or a 16-inch, they do have a they do have a flat series on
like
those.
a flat top.
But I use a deep contour also for my back.
Yeah, and the one I've got is a molded one now, and I kind of like that more contour a little bit. I don't know. I think it's for balance more, and I find that kind of the older I get, I just want that more stability. It might be because of the things I'm doing too with the biking and stuff, but that more stability is nice with that more contour on the sides for balance. I don't know if you've noticed that, Bobby, for balance at all.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't use the hard back, and
Yeah,
I keep telling myself I'm going to because, I have the adjustable backrest, meaning the straps. So I have to make mine really loose, and then so I can have something.
yeah,
It's not luckily this leather piece on the end is pretty thick, but it's starting. I can tell it's not as thick as it used to be, and um, Shawn has this as well. A permanent brown, and I don't know if you have this, Paul or Chad.
dude, I've used those
Permanent,
for
yeah,
years. Yeah,
permanent brown spot.
from
That's
a scar.
yeah. It's not a yeah. It's
Permanent.
scar. It's just brown, and it just looks
yeah,
like when somebody first sees it, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're back." I'm like, "Yeah."
yeah.
So, and Austin has been chiming in, and welcome, Austin. We already said that, but 32 years old and 6'2" and 120 pounds. That was me when I was 21, but not 32. So we need to put some weight on you, bud.
Yeah. He's a
I'm
C.
curious, Austin,
I'm
if you're
probably
taking your own trip.
Yeah,
What's that?
is he a C5? Is he a C5?
Yeah, C5 quad, and it sucks. When I was in my 20s, I remember it's so vivid. that I was wondering if I should get 29s or 30s when I used to buy my shorts. And now I don't know what it is. I'm not much heavier. I'm a buck 40, so 20 pounds more than Austin. And I have to now get 33s in my pants or my
Oh
shorts.
my God, not 33s. Oh, you big fat bugger. You.
Oh.
Oh,
What are you,
Hey,
Paul?
boy, that little boy wears 33s.
it's good to stay skinny, though. I think it's better for our skin. If we're not super, but hell, I'm 5'10" and weigh 100 pounds. I
Yeah,
think
you
all
look like you weigh 120. You
you're
look
fine.
like you weigh 100 pounds.
All fine. You don't, hell, let's get a milkshake every once in a while. You're all right.
Yeah, eat a donut.
Hey, Paul. Yeah. Hey, Paul. On that ADI back, the thing about the 4-inch contour too, for me, it was always like, maybe I can't lean up out of it, but you can. I mean, it's 4 inches where it's not. That doesn't hold you. I mean, they make a 6-inch, but you can't lean that 6-inch. You can't get out of it. You can't
Yeah.
lean up out of it. But this 4-inch, you can. Now, you can. What I would recommend doing is oversizing it. So that's what I do. I have a 14 wide chair, but on the ADI backrest, depending on what type of hardware you use, as long as you don't get the fixed elite hardware, you
Yeah.
can you can go a size bigger. So I have a 15
Oh.
wide back on my 14 wide chair, and the reason being is just so it isn't too tight with that contour. It's not holding
Yeah.
me so much. Yeah.
Well, that's a good point. So you can put a 16-inch wide back on a 15-inch chair
You can.
with the right
Yes.
hardware.
With,
Oh,
with a 2 Point Pro hardware or 4 Point Pro or any of the adjustable hardware.
right.
Yeah. So that's
Uh,
that way you can have wiggle room in it.
Yeah.
uh, Paul, Eric was saying try the
Matrix.
Matrix. Isn't that what you use?
I've got the Matrix. I've got the Matrix. I've tried it. I don't mind the Matrix. What I've got is a ride contoured one to my back. So
Oh, that's
the Matrix, I find the contour not quite in the right place. Matrix makes a nice backrest though. Um, I've actually got 3 Matrixes, I think. It's got 2 carbon ones and an aluminum one. So I've been playing around with those, trying to get those to fit too, Eric. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's a balancing. I've over COVID, I lost a bunch of weight. So you guys are all talking about this buck
Hey,
20 and shit. I'm
hey,
a
hey,
buck
Paul, do you
50.
sit on a solid seat base?
No, I got a sling seat base with a row.
Wow. How come do you fold your chair?
No, I don't know. I just kind of always the way
I
I've done
What
it.
think
about
it,
what about
it
you,
throws.
Bobby?
Yeah, no, I know why the new chair that I have, which is now 2 years old, I believe. I'd said no. I don't think going to the hard base would be right for me because I've, over time, they start to sling a little, and I think
Yeah.
if you solid me up, my balance would be off.
I
Yeah,
would
well,
really buy a hard one. I like the idea of a hard one, but yeah, everybody's
Right.
recommending. I don't know if you can do it, but I don't know.
well, the thing
I
about it is, I've been through several seats, just in the seating clinics in general, and what that ADI backrest, and it evolved to a seating system back to what it is today, but it evolved to a seating system a long time ago, back when Todd had the company ADI and was doing it, and just it was a small deal. And basically, the premise was if you've got a solid seat base, and then you pair it with that solid ADI backrest, it's what's the old adage that anything built on you must have a solid foundation for anything to build up on, and it's
yeah,
the same thing that I was told long ago with like your ischiums on those slings. They can fall down a little bit, just
yeah,
on one side. You didn't even notice. But so if you've got a solid seat base that you're starting from, and then you just pair that with your back, your solid seat back, then you're for longevity, you're just putting yourself in a better seating position. So therefore, I
yeah.
think by the end of the day, you're not completely torn up, from sitting just
I
a
would
little bit.
totally agree with that. I wish they would have told me that 40 years ago, 41 years ago.
I don't think they tell anyone crap. Hell, I had a buddy here that not a while back he was told he had to do his bowel program every day. Man, the guy ended up like having his wife help him for years, and he realized he didn't need to do a bowel program every day. This is stuff they tell you without these clinical things that good
Well,
or bad.
and I know for
But
me, when I first got hurt, they asked you what your program was, how often did you go and stuff. And I used to go every day. So that's kind of say, well, okay, stick with that. I mean, that's kind of what it is. Then you change around when you start doing the
Mhm.
program.
Yeah,
I
you got
mean,
to take
that's
all that with a
it's just
grain of
like
salt.
coming out of the hospital. They ordered my dad to help me with a Hoyer lift to get me in and out of my chair to my bed. And when I got out of the hospital when I was 17, I maybe was a buck 10, dripping wet, and my dad
Yeah.
at that time was a bodybuilder. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
he
So
was
no
like,
sweat.
why are we gonna have this big thing? But it sat in our garage until I was able to donate it, and that's why we are Live to Roll. This is what we want to tell you out there is, talk to your doctor, try going every other day, maybe try this or try that, try a super pivot, try a colostomy, see what might work for you by talking with others. And I you know we it's 4:30 here on the West Coast, and I know we got to wrap up here soon.
Holy
um,
man.
yeah, I know this is going so fast, but uh, I lost
Think
my
about what without Shawn mentioning that Paristine.
right.
I thank him every dang time it's just a wonderful thing to
Right.
be able to shit on a regular basis. It's like, man, I feel so much better.
So much
I
Right.
have bladder issues, and I'm
And
just,
some
jeez.
people are, going, no, the colostomy is not for me right now. But the ones that have heard me and say, I've changed over to colostomy, they're like, oh my God, this is the best thing. So that's what we're here for. That's what we're striving for. Even Chris said it just right now. I tried the solid base and I felt like I sat too high. That's how I would be so scared of it. Just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then, just my balance,
Yeah,
it would
Bobby,
be off.
Is that Chris that was over there?
Yeah.
At,
Yeah. Yeah.
hey, Chris, shoot me an email, dude. I want to say hi sometime.
Mm. Yeah, that's Chris.
I think
So
about Chris all the time. I'm like, fuck, how's your girlfriend and the daughter? I wonder. Shoot me an email, Chris.
good people,
That's
good people.
Yeah,
Listen, we got to wrap up. It's that time. This went by way too fast. Maybe we'll have another show tomorrow. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Um, uh, but we got some sponsors, I think, and then we can go around and say one thing before we get off. But want to thank our sponsors. You do it, Bobo. You're way better
Okay.
at it
All
than
right.
me.
All right. We want to thank mobility professionals and urology professionals. They are very good at what they do, and that is providing the best in a variety of durable medical equipment, along with excellent customer service. Mobility Professionals services the Southern California region, so contact them if you are in need of a wheelchair or any other DME equipment. Their sister company, Urology Professionals, can help you with your catheter needs. They service nationally, so wherever you're at in the U.S. and in need of urology supplies, give them a call. That's Urology Professionals. All right, Bobby.
Yeah, and the open discussion will actually continue because on Tuesday with our regular show with Shawn and Tom, we're having our open discussion again. So come join us. If you thought of any questions from the time now until then, make sure you hop on Tuesday. Same time, same bat channel, same everything. So make sure you come and join us. Also, next week is it's an extra Thursday, so I don't know if Shawn is having something special. Sometimes he does. Make sure you get that notification button and clicked it because it will tell you when we are live coming up. So make sure you do
Well,
that
that's next Thursday, because isn't
next Thursday.
that that's July 3rd, right?
Is it? I don't
Yeah,
even know what it is
That is.
anymore.
yeah,
Oh, so then it's the girls. I'm sorry.
yeah,
Then it's the
yeah.
ladies. I should say. Rolling with the golden oldies. I thought Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
this
totally
is the
screwed up.
last Thursday
No. Is it?
Yeah,
today.
Holy
it is.
crap.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, where's the time going, everyone?
It flies by, man. Yeah, I've been asking that for the last 40 years.
Oh my gosh.
July 4th coming up.
Wow. All right. Well, there it is. Like Leon said, smash that like button.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
any last thoughts, Bobo?
Yeah, I'd just say all of you out there and stick with the community. Stay connected somehow. You don't have to join, support groups and not every week or every day or whatever, but just stay connected. Find a way to stay connected so we can share our experiences and problems and issues, whatever, and share them because we all learn from it. I'm 51 years in a chair and still learning stuff.
Hell yeah, we're learning every day. Thank God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
How about you, Paul?
Yeah, I kind of ditto to what Robert just said, man. We always learning, always doing new stuff, trying new things. I'll keep you posted on the whole bladder thing and maybe figure out something else that I can share with you once I figure out what the hell's going on and how to make it
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chad?
these doctors, they know things from a scientific book type learning, and not. I mean, hell, listen to your doctor. I'm not saying that. Listen to your doctor, but get out in the community and network with people because
Yep.
we're the ones living in this body, and we, we're learning as we go. And shoot, not everyone has the answers, but us guys that have been in the trenches and have been doing it and are living it every day, we know. At least we think we
Yep.
do. Right?
Yeah.
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 Well,
And get out of the
you
house and have some fun. Happy summer. Shit, 4th of July.
Yeah.
Drink a
That's
beer,
what,
drink a beer.
that's what I was
Something.
going to say. I've had a lot
Yeah.
going on with my wife recovering from a broken hip. Chris, I applaud you for dating someone in a chair. Just having someone that has a little bit of a disability right now, she'll recover fully, but it's hard doing a lot of the work, and it's been rough. But my escape has been exercise, riding my hand bike, and going out pushing. It's summertime, so get out there, enjoy it. And if you can't do that, I'm just going to give a free plug to where Paul and I are coaches on something called stayingdrivenlive.com. It's $30 a month. You can exercise every day with us except Sundays. And it's kind of like this. We do a hangout a little bit like this, talk with amongst our people, and then we have a good workout. So if you're interested, come join us if that suits your boat a little bit better than going out and finding places to ride a hand cycle or to push a chair. So that's what I want to
And
say.
then Saturday we got something coming up Saturday for local Southern California,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Thank you, Bob, for reminding me. But if you're here in the Southern California area, actually, there's a bunch of stuff going on. A couple of weeks ago, we had a good friend of ours talking about the LA City games that are happening this weekend. So that's on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And also for me in Long Beach, if anybody's in local, it's called Push the Pier. And it's a mile to the pier and it's a mile back. It's all flat. We have a good time just hanging out. Some people go a little bit further. Some people do a little bit less. So if you want to join us,
Right
hit
there
me
on the
up.
water. Right there on the water. It's great, man.
Are you going to be there, Baba?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Sweet. So come join us. That's our show today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Great to meet you, Austin. I think you were here, but we had Chris, Leon, Derek, Eric. We had Nicole, Austin. We had Grandma in the house. Always love you, Grandma. Thank you so much.
Dominic.
And Dominic,
Hey, Grandma.
and Ben. So thanks, everybody who else joined us. Hit that like button, and till next time.
All right, live to roll.
Yeah, live to roll.